let's come onto our backs. However you want to begin. So that can be full Shavasana, laying flat out. It can be TPing the legs so that the knee is not together. Or Supta Baddha if you want to have the knees wide and the feet touching. And then whatever you want to do with the hands, have them down by your sides. Put them in that I surrender goalpost shape. Or connect one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Anywhere that is going to allow you to start to center yourself on your mat. So your awareness, your breath, all starts to arrive right here and now. And as you start to settle into this shape you're in, you can start to settle into whatever flow of breath feels natural for you tonight. Seeing if you can balance out the length of your inhales with the length of your exhales. So it becomes this easy, pretty effortless flow in and out. I've been thinking a lot about the idea of balance on our mat, but in our lives as well. The balance between effort and ease, like work and rest, and how all of that is important to the work of ahimsa or self-care, love. So we'll explore that on our mats tonight. Play with some balanced postures, but also play with the idea of moments in our practice, in our lives, where we need more rest versus moments or times we need more energy and effort. So finding the rest, the relaxation, the surrender right here. The shoulders get a little heavier. Relax the belly. Relax the muscles of your face. Take one more clearing breath in here. And then big exhale, let that breath all the way out. And from wherever you are, I want you to start to bring your knees in towards your chest. Nice and easy. And then little movements. Nice and gentle, just trying to check in with the lower back, the hips, the spine, see how everything feels today. And then we'll plant the left foot down on the mat. Flex the right foot and cross your ankle over your left thigh. So we make that figure four shape, trying to keep the right foot flexed. We protect the knee. And it's early in the practice, so if you want to hang out right here and let this be more passive, feel free. If you need a little bit more sensation, start to pick up the left leg in towards you. Again, this is the part of the practice with as much ease as possible. So neck and shoulders stay resting on the mat. Breath is easy. Trying to let gravity do the work here as much as you can. And see if you can use your breath as a tool to find more ease in this posture. As you inhale, send the breath into the tightest spaces where you feel the most stretch happening. As you exhale, just kind of soften into those spaces. We're easing into the opening. And we find more stretch actually from the ease than from the effort itself. Do about 3 more full breaths here. As you finish your next exhale, we're going to come into a little twist. So if you can, keep your right foot on the ground and your knee pointing up towards the ceiling. And then just hold on to your right ankle to give it a little stability. And let your right arm come out to the side. And again, we're letting this twist be really passive. There's no active sort of turning through the muscles. It's just everything falling open here. Using the breath to explore what sensations you find. Using that sense of ease to find more opening, more stretch. Okay, one more breath here. And start to unwind and come back to center. You can draw your knees in, just kind of reset the spine if you'd like. And then we'll set up for that on the left side. So when you're ready, left foot crosses over the right thigh. And then just let everything hang out for a second. The knee passively opens, the left hip passively stretches, and then we decide from there if we need to bring a little bit more effort into it. Again, let the head, neck, shoulders all stay heavy on the mat. About 3 more breaths here. Seeing if you can relax, open a little more of each one. And from here we'll come into the twist again. So when you're ready, left foot comes all the way down to the right side of your mat. And left knee comes out to the side, breathe right into the left side of your waist. Creating a little more space and opening. As we move through our practice tonight, try to pay attention to the things that you say yes to on your mat versus the things that you say no to. Meaning, when you approach a posture, what is your energy towards moving into it? Knowing that whatever you say yes to, you cannot say no to. It's one or the other. So if we say yes to a posture from an energy of ease, we're saying no to the energy of tension. Start to unwind, draw your knees back into your chest. Or if we approach a posture from the energy of no, I cannot do this, it becomes a lot harder to approach it with the energy of yes, I can. So just get curious about the ways that you talk to yourself in your practice. To rock backwards and forwards here, massaging out the length of your spine. And we'll see if we can start to find a balance between times we need to say yes to our practice, to expending more energy and effort into postures, and times that we can say no and back off. Let's flip over to hands and knees. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's start to work through those big hip circles here. One direction at first. Smoothing out the breath. And then go ahead and reverse it. Take a few circles going the other way. And then go ahead and land yourself right in the center and move through a couple cat-cows. So chest through the arms, lift the gaze. And then round the spine, draw the belly in. About 3 more like that. Come back to a neutral spine. Find a little tone to the belly, so low belly hugging up towards the spine. And then we're going to extend the right leg back. Keep a bend to your knee. I want you to keep hugging the navel in. So belly drawing up towards the spine. And then push into the hands and lift the chest forward. So it's like we're coming into a little cow pose here with the back leg lifted. See if you can feel your glute and your right hamstring turn on. So rather than the work being in the lower back, we're zipping up the core and pressing the back of the leg up towards the ceiling. A big inhale there, lift the heart. And as you exhale, pull the knee into the chest as you round the spine. We'll try that again. Inhale, use the strength of the back leg to lift. And then exhale, round. Again, inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Okay, come back to a neutral spine, lift that back leg up, and then we're just gonna pulse the heel up towards the ceiling, getting that glute to turn on a little bit more. Last 3, 2, last 1, hold it up, and then start to rotate that thigh outwards so your knee points out to the side, and see if you can pull your knee up like you're gonna touch it to your right elbow. Yeah? And then see if you can kick that foot out to the side. And then notice if you're leaning way into this left hand, and see if you can center your weight back over your wrists. Lift that foot a little higher, feel that outer glute turn on. Okay, and then set the right foot down. So it's kind of in line with your hips. Tuck your back toes under, and then we're just gonna rock the weight forward and back a few times. And if you want, you can change the position of your hands, get a little different stretch through the wrists. Easing into this shape. Okay, put the hands back underneath your shoulders. You're going to inhale the left hand up to the sky. And then exhale, weave that arm underneath you for thread the needle. And then options to take that right hand forward, take it to your lower back. If you want, you can even take this left hand around and see if you could find the calf or the ankle for a little deeper twist. Once you found your twist, see if you could soften your breath. Just surrender into this shape a little more. Okay, release, right hand back to the mat. Gently press yourself up all fours, right knee is going to slide back to meet the left. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So, firm up the belly, lift your left leg up to the sky. We're going to use the strength of the glute to press that leg up with the gaze. And then exhale, hug navel in tighter, knee to chest. Again, inhale, lift the gaze, lift the back leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, kick and lift. Exhale, draw it in. Okay, last one, we're going to kick that leg back behind us. And then find that external rotation so the knee points out to the side. And then use that outer hip, outer glute strength to lift that leg up, 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 up. Kick that foot out to the side if you can. Try to avoid leaning into the right hand and the right knee. Last 3, 2, it's a little higher. And then left foot comes down to the mat. Tuck your right toes. And then one more time, we'll just kind of move forward and back, creasing the groove of that left leg. Letting it open a little more. Okay. Back to center, left hand underneath your left shoulder, reach the right hand to the sky. And then all the way underneath you for that variation of thread the needle. And then just a couple breaths here. Okay, start to unwind. Slowly bring hands back down. And we're going to sit back to a hero's pose. So toes can be tucked or untucked. I just want you to make really tight fists with the hands. And then with as much energy as you can, extend your fingers out. Okay, that's it. That's all we're going to do is squeeze, extend, squeeze, extend. I just want you to kind of warm up the hands and the extensor muscles of the fingers before we start to move through more of a flow. There's about 5 more. Okay, and then we're going to interlace the hands together and just kind of like circle out the wrists. So it's almost like a figure 8 pattern. then we're going to reverse it and go the other direction. Okay, and then finally I want you to take the fingers of one hand and kind of pull up on the knuckles of the other hand, really gently. So you'll just kind of feel the separation between the wrist and the hand. And then release and switch, pull on the other hand, release the wrist, and release. Okay, take that out. Hands back down to the mat, press between index finger and thumb. We'll tuck the toes and find yourselves back in our downward facing dog. And then a couple breaths to do what you need to do here. Feel it out. Invite the breath back in if you've lost it. And then bring your feet to about hip distance apart. And we'll inhale, ripple forward to the top of the plank. Belly strong, shoulders lifted. And then reverse it. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. 2 more like that. Inhale takes you forward. Exhale, down dog. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Okay, we're going to drop the knees to the mat and then the forearms down. And then pull the chest through the arms. So feel the shoulder blades plug into the back body. Hips come down and shoulders draw back. And then exhale, hips to heel, child's pose. Just taking 1 breath here. And then inhale back up to your all fours. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. And then bend your knee and just for a moment stack your hip open. So right hip on top of left, point your right knee up towards the ceiling. And see if you can hug your belly button towards your spine so core is engaged. And then use that right glute to lift your knee up higher. So that same engagement we had in all fours. You're going to keep that engagement and then start to rotate your knee out to the right. So you feel that outer hip turn on. And then shift into plank and start to take that knee with you. So you're pulling it up towards your right elbow. Lift, 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 lift. And then see if you can step the foot to the outside of your right hand. And just walk it up there if you need to. Use your right hand. Left hand's going to come underneath the left shoulder. And we'll reach the right fingertips to the sky. Firm up that back leg. And then big circles with this right hand. Easy breaths. Go ahead and reverse in a couple circles going the other way. Okay. Reach that right hand overhead through the pinky side of the hand. Big inhale. And then exhale, right hand to the mat. We'll step the left foot forward to a low squat. So feet outside the hands, sit the hips nice and low. Press down and out through the feet. Hands to heart center. And then we'll use that strength of the legs to ground you as you inhale, rise to stand. Engage the glutes, press them forward as you lift up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Reverse that. Hips come forward, inhale, arms up and down. And then exhale, hips go back as you sit low. Hands to the mat, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step your left foot back, low lunge. Draw the heart forward, inhale. And then exhale, right back where you came from, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, take your left leg up to the sky. And bend your knees, stack, roll, open. Try to engage the left glute to lift that left knee higher. All right, and then start to shift the knee out to the side. Feel that outer hip turn on. Keep that engagement as you come forward, forward, forward. Pull that knee up, and then step your left foot outside your hand. Right hand underneath the shoulders. So if you take your left hand up to the sky, while firming up that back thigh. Good. And then big circles with that left hand. Just trying to create more space in the shoulder. Reverse that. Circle the other way. Good, and then we'll take the left hand all the way overhead. Big side body reach, inhale. Exhale, left hand down. And then the right foot steps forward back to our low squat. Okay, this time a little bit more warm up for the hips. So I want you to keep your fingertips on the mat. Keep the feet pressing down and out. So knee stays rotating out to the side. We're just going to hinge from the hips, trying to sink the butt nice and low. And then we'll lift it up. And your range of motion might be really small, that's fine. Let's try to build up a little bit more dynamic mobility into the hips and the hamstrings. Notice where your weight shifts as you do this. What parts of your body turn on and turn off. Okay, and then the next time we come into our squat, we'll do what we did the first time. So press down through your feet, inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Whew, hands to heart center, exhale. Okay, reverse that, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Okay, step your right foot back. Lift the heart as you inhale. And then exhale, downward dog. Option to stay in down dog for a few breaths, or inhale, shift forward to plank. And then exhale, drop down, knees, chest, chin, or one straight piece. Untuck the toes, inhale, cobra. And then exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. From down dog, we'll all lift the right leg up to the sky. And then exhale, that same idea. So pull the knee out to the side. Use that outer hip and oblique strength to step the foot all the way forward. This time, drop your back knee down. Send the hips forward as you lift the heart. Pull the shoulders back. And then exhale, straighten your front leg. Little half splits. So draw the right hip crease back. Reach the fingertips forward. And then start to walk fingertips out to the right. So finding this outer hip stretch. Pull the right pinky toe back. Okay, and then start to come forward back into your lunge. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. You're going to reach your hands forward and then over to the left. So you're coming out on the diagonal, but your knee is still pointing to the right. You're getting real deep into that outer right hip and into the right side body. About 2 more breaths. Inhale. And as you exhale, walk your hands back to face the front of your mat, and then we're going to shift the weight into the right leg and start to pick the left leg up. So it's like we're in the supported warrior 3. Okay, and then start to bend this back leg and roll the hip open. So use some of that outer glute strength to lift the left thigh up, and then walk fingertips over to the right. So now we're working into left side body and finding some space there. Okay, inhale, straighten out the left leg. And as you exhale, left toes, you're going to land right behind the left heel. Walk your hands back to center. So now it's like we're on a little tightrope. You're going to come onto the fingertips, press down through the feet, and inhale, lengthen the spine, chest moves away from the thighs. And exhale, fold down. Try that again, press through the feet, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. All right, this time press down through the feet, keep them as they are, and inhale, rise to stand. Ooh, and then bring feet hips distance apart, hands to heart center. Relax. Okay, reach the arms up overhead. We're going to find this clasp of the fingers. So the fingers wrap around each other. And then we're going to use, let's see, the right hand to pull the left hand behind the head. Okay, keep pulling the left hand behind the head, lift the head back a little bit more. And draw the belly button in, the tailbone down. Your right hand's going to find your right hip. You're going to reach your left hand over a little more. So it's this big side body stretch. Take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, fall into an open arm twist. So left knee bends, left fingertips to the mat, or right fingertips to the sky. From here, so just shift the weight into the right foot. And see if you can hover this left foot. And then with as much control as you can, start to step the left foot way, way back. So eventually the back knee comes down. And then slide the left hand back underneath your shoulder. And then start to straighten the front leg. So we end up in this revolved half splits. Okay. Make sure your left knee is underneath your left hip, left hand is underneath your left shoulder. And then see if you can shift your weight into the left knee and hover to the right heel. We're going to try to sweep this right leg all the way behind us. And find a modified side plank. Press the hips forward, lean the head back. Stay here if you want a little bit more. Pick that back leg up. And then either pulse that back leg so we feel that outer glute turn on, or bend the back knee and try to catch your foot into your hand and find a little modified half moon. One more full breath wherever you are. And then release. Right hand, right knee to the mat. Take a little cat-cow. And then we'll come back to downward facing dog. Downward dog, reach left leg up to the sky. And then bend your knee, we're gonna take it all the way up. So knee comes out, up, 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 and then step foot up between the hands. Lower your back knee down, inhale with the heart. Exhale, straighten the front leg. So left hip crease, jaws back. We're gonna reach the chest forward and then walk fingertips to the outside of the left hip. Moving in two opposite directions. Try to pull that left pinky toe back a little more. Okay, walk the hands back forward. We're gonna come to that angular lunge. So coming back to your low lunge, torso to the inside of the left leg. Find the length first. And then keep the hips as they are, but just walk the hands out to that diagonal. Breathe in the left side body. One more breath in. Okay, walk the hands back forward. We're going to come into that supported warrior three. So shift weight into the left leg, pick that back leg up. Engage into that right glute to help you. And then we'll bend the back knee and walk fingertips to the left. Just a big side body stretch. Breathe into the right side of your waist. Last inhale. And exhale, let the right toes land behind the left heel. Walk your hands back in front of you. And then press down through the feet. Inhale, lengthen spine forward. Exhale, release. One more of those. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Okay, press down through the feet. It's going to feel a little bit more unstable than with feet hip distance. So nice and slowly, easily come all the way up to stand. And then feet hip distance, hands to heart center. Shake that out a little bit. Inhale, arms back up to the sky. We're going to interlace the fingers, and then left hand's going to pull right hand behind the head. Lean the head back, find that little tricep stretch. And then left hand to your left hip, arc the right arm over a little more. Big breath in. Exhale, right hand sweeps down, right knee bends. We'll find that open arm twist. Make sure there's a little micro bend in this left leg so you're not locking it out. And then we're going to shift the weight into the left leg and see if we can step this right foot way, way back. And as you bring it down, you might need to kind of like scoot your torso back a little bit more. And we'll straighten the front leg. Stack the joints. Pull this left hip crease back, reach the torso forward. So still moving in those two opposite directions. Okay, and then see if you can pick up this left heel. And then with as much control as you can, bring it all the way back. And your modified side plank. And then stay here or lift that back leg up. Stay here or maybe bend the back leg. Even if you don't find the foot, just this energy of engaging the left glute and drawing the heart forward. Smooth out your breath. Okay, release everything back up. And then your choice, you can move through a vinyasa or find downward facing dog. And we'll meet there. From your downward dog, take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale it out your mouth, let it all go. And then one more like that, inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet up to your hands, top of the mat. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now sink weight into your heels. Bend your knees, sit low, sweep your arms up, chair pose. And keep sinking the hips back. Take an inhale here.
And then exhale, sweep the hands behind you, sit a little lower. And then we'll come to stand. Inhale, pull the left knee into the chest. And then exhale back to chair pose, send the arms back. Good, try it on the other side. Inhale, come to stand, right knee to chest. And then exhale back to that airplane chair. Okay, press into the right foot. Inhale to stand, left knee to chest. Exhale back to that lightning chair. Inhale, shift again, right knee to chest. Exhale, chair. Okay, inhale, left knee to chest. This time as you exhale, we're going to kick this left foot back through space. So we sweep the arms back and kick the left heel out behind you. For warrior 3 or lightning warrior. Feel that left glute turn on to lift the back leg up. Then start to bend into this right knee as you step the left foot way behind you. And see if you can lower the back knee down. And you might find that you're right on the kneecap and then just wiggle your right foot out forward more so you can get more into the top of the left thigh. Send the hips forward, reach the arms to the sky. Keep lengthening out of the lower body. Then we're going to catch the left wrist with the right hand, lift up, and then kind of pull that wrist over to the right, and a big, big side body stretch on the left. Keep that length through the side body. We'll start to turn through the torso, and then as you come forward, let the left elbow cross outside the right thigh. Right hand can come on top of it. So you got this ball and socket hold or prayer hands. Okay. Use the strength of the left elbow pressing into the thigh to rotate the ribcage around. Okay. So from here, we're going to try to tuck the back toes under, and then use the strength of the left thigh and the left glute to lift that back leg up. Remember, we're working through a lot of balance today, and that's not just balance in our postures, but balance between the effort and the ease. So we're moving through some challenging things with the idea that we're trying to do that, right? So part of this practice is being easy on yourself and watching how you react when things get uncomfortable or frustrating. Okay? Keep saying yes to being easy in your practice even as things get challenging. All right, we're going to start to shift the weight into the right leg and then see if we could step the left foot up to meet the right. Stay in your chair twist. One more breath. And then inhale back to chair pose. Exhale, lightning chair, reach the arms back. And then inhale to stand right knee into the chest. Yeah, right to the second side. So just sweep the fingers back and reach the right foot behind you. Engage into the right glute. And then bend the left leg. Start to step the right foot way back. You can always bring the hands down to help you lower the back knee. And then when you're ready, torso up. Bring the hands to the sky, low lunge. Take a few breaths, soften in. And then catch the right wrist with your left hand. Reach up, lengthen, and then over to the left. So you know where we're going. Try not to think about it, just let your breath get a little smoother. Say yes to staying committed to the practice, committed to trying out these postures. So till they take the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. And then either prayer hands or that ball and socket hold. Okay. Tuck the back toes. Use the strength of the back leg to lift up. Breathe a little deeper here. Okay, shift the weight into the left leg. And then with as much control as you can, right foot steps up to meet the left. Good work. One more breath. Inhale, come back to chair pose. And exhale, straighten your legs, forward fold. Shimmy out the hips, bend one knee at a time. And then shake the head no. No to self-doubt, self-judgment. Shake your head yes. Yes to your willingness, to your commitment, to your practice. And press down through your feet. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Palms touch, exhale, hands to heart center, close your eyes. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. Just taking a moment to feel rooted to the mat again, evenly through both feet. And then we'll sit the hips back into chair pose again. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swim the arms back, lighten the chair. Okay, and then press into the right foot. Inhale, left knee up into chest. You're going to flex your left foot and cross your ankle over your right thigh. So we're coming into that figure 4 shape. Okay, you're going to send your hips back and reach the chest forward, hands at heart center. Now, a couple options. You can stay here for a few breaths. You can bring your fingertips to block through the mat if that helps you feel more supported, or even a wall if you're lucky enough to have a wall next to you. If you want to do a little bit more work for the glutes and the hips, which is what we're working today, then we're going to inhale, send the hips up, lift the heart, and exhale, send the hips back. Then try that again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, back. Just one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, this time we're all going to lift our left knee back into the chest. And then if you can, we're going to send that heel behind you now, so moving from external to internal rotation, and swing that left hand back to find the foot behind you. Hug the knees, hug the inner thighs together, zip up nice and tall. You're welcome to stay here or kick the right foot into your hand and start to peel into a little bit of a dancer. Again, if you're lucky enough to have a wall, feel free to use that to support you. Think belly hugging towards the spine, using the strength of the left glute to kick that back leg up. Last 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come up. Left foot meets the right. Give the legs a little shake. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it release. Okay, feet hip distance. Set yourself up for good support. And then inhale, hips back, arms up. Exhale, sit a little lower, lightning chair. Inhale to stand this time, right knee into chest. Exhale, right ankle over the left thigh, sit back. Stay here if you'd like to stay here. Otherwise, we'll inhale, lift the hips, lift the heart. Exhale, sit it back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit back. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Okay, don't worry about needing to set your foot down in between, but if you can, see if you can come up to stand. We're going to turn that right knee back to face forward and then use the glute to kick that leg back. Right hand's going to swim behind you and find the foot. And then hug everything up to the midline, so nice and tall, nice and strong through the core. Just stay nice and lifted, or start to use the right glute to kick your foot into your hand and peel open into dancer. And 3 breaths wherever you are, just commit to it. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Whew. All right, press down through the feet. Inhale, reach arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen. And then step back through a vinyasa or 2 downward dog if you prefer to skip this moment. All right, inhale, reach your right leg up to the sky. Step your right foot between your hands and spin the back heel down for warrior 2. So our last standing sequence. Soften the shoulders, and then see if you can find that same outer glute strength. So turn on that outer glute we've been working and kind of send your hips to the midline, and you'll notice that that rotates your knee out towards the pinky toes a little more. So find that outer hip work. And then we'll press into the right foot, straighten the front leg, and inhale, take a little reverse warrior, just give that leg a break. And then as you exhale, see if you can re-bend and feel that glute turn on. So you watch your knee track over your pinky toe. And then let your right forearm come forward, your left hand reach up to the sky or overhead. Okay, you're welcome to stay here. If you would like to work one more balancing posture, we'll shift into half moon. So if you're interested in half moon, we're just going to keep reaching the torso forward. So right hand will come in front of the right foot, and then we'll shift the weight into the right leg, and we'll lift that back thigh up. Okay, notice if this back glute is working. So you can actually bring your hand there, and then if it's not, engage that glute and turn your back leg back on. And then option to bend your back knee, reach back, maybe find your foot, maybe just find the opening through front body. Last 3, 2, and then we'll reverse it, bend into the right knee, step the left foot way back. You can touch your back hip again, feel that glute turn on as you come back up. And then straighten your front leg, inhale, reverse it. Exhale, windmill hands to the mat, step back, downward dog, or through a vinyasa if you prefer. Turn around for this next bit. Okay, inhale the left leg up. Step your left foot between your hands. Spin the back heel down and make your way up to warrior 2. Couple breaths to settle in. So the reason we're working on moving through every posture from the strength of the glutes is not only that we're doing sort of an outer hip flow, but also that when we spend a lot of time sitting, the glutes actually turn off. And if we don't reactivate them and re-strengthen them, your lower back ends up doing a lot of their work. So if you ever struggle with low back pain or a weak core, getting the glutes a little stronger can help with that. Straighten the front leg, inhale, reverse it. And then as you exhale, engage that left outer hip. Start to reach forward and down, extended side angle. Take a few more breaths here. Or if you'd like, we'll keep reaching the torso forward, so left fingertips find the mat or a block, and then shift it into half moon. And then I like just to have the idea of what that feels like, to bring my hand to my outer hip and then feel that engagement. So when the back thigh turns on, that's when you know your back leg is working. If you have the balance, you can even try it with your standing leg, but that's a little harder. And then maybe bend that back leg if you'd like to find Shavasana. Last 3, 2, and 1. Straighten out that back leg. Bring a foot to the mat. We'll rise all the way up, reverse it. And then exhale, windmill hands down to the mat. Take it through one final vinyasa if you'd like. Alright, and then from downward dog, we're going to flip over onto our back. So just step or hop the feet forward. Back to where we started. Maybe take a moment to just bend your knees, plant your feet. Allow your heart rate to come down, breath to slow back down. Just seeing how quickly you can shift states. Then bring the feet hip distance apart. We'll set up for a little bridge pose. Walk your heels in pretty close to you. Hands down by your sides. And we'll press into the feet and see if we can lift the spine up one vertebrae at a time. So eventually just the shoulder blades are touching down. And if you'd like, you can interlace the hands underneath you, reach the knuckles away, walk the shoulder blades underneath you even more. And then lift your chin slightly. And press your chest back towards your chin. Breathe here for 3, 2, and release your hands, lower all the way back down. And we'll do that again. Press down through your feet. And then with as much control as you can with the pelvis, the lower back, the mid back, upper back, all reach up into bridge pose. This time you're going to heel toe your left foot slightly more into the center and see if you can lift the right leg up without letting the right hip come down. Feel that left glute turn on, reach to the right heel. 3, 2, and then cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Let the knee fall open. And with as much control as you can, slowly lower the spine back down.
So we end up in that figure 4 shape. And then you're going to hug the left thigh into your chest. You have to create a little bit of momentum, so just a little rock forward and back until you can bring yourself up to a seat. Okay, once you've found your seat, couple options. If you want to keep the figure 4 shape, you can. If you have more hip flexibility, you can find this like half lotus where your foot's in the like crook of your thigh, or janu, so sole of your foot to the inner thigh. Okay, find a place that works where your sits bones feel grounded, and then big inhale, lift up. Exhale, easy fold over that left leg. Relax your chin down towards your chest. And like we did at the very beginning of practice, if you can find that energy of softening again here. Shifting out of the effortful practice, back into the ease. And we let gravity do a little bit more of the work, and we're mostly here to just allow ourselves the time and space to breathe through it, whatever needs to come up. Okay, slowly switch away, walk yourself back up. Ease all the way back down onto your back when you're ready. Take a moment to let your spine release. Walk your feet in a little closer. And we'll press down through the feet. Last time, lifting the hips up into bridge pose. This time, right foot's going to walk a little closer into the center. Engage that right glute, and we'll lift the left leg up. Notice if that left hip starts to drop, see if you can lift it up a little higher for 3, 2, and then on 1, cross left ankle over the right thigh. Keep the hips as even as you can as you lower all the way back down. All right, right knee into the chest. Start to rock yourself back up to a seat. And then choose the same shape you did on the first side, so whether that's with the sole of the inner thigh or at the top of the thigh. And then one more time, inhale up nice and tall. And exhale, fold. About 5 more deep breaths here. Okay, slowly lift yourself up. All right, we're going to play with one last little pose before we come down Kujalasana. Because we've done so much work to open up the outer hips, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Okay, you're just going to draw your right leg into your chest and then start to cradle it. Right, so just rocking side to side, forward and back, feeling the space in your hip socket. And then, see, it's been a long time since I've done this. Take your left hand over your right foot. So we're bringing the cup of the hand to the outer arch, and then your right hand is going to weave underneath. Okay, and then we're going to try to lift up the right knee onto the right shoulder. If it doesn't get there, don't worry about it. This is a pose that takes people a long time to figure out. So check in with the energy you're bringing into this posture as we try it. If you're there, we're going to start to kick the foot into the left hand,
And see if we can bring it behind the head. And then if you can, turn your gaze and look underneath your left armpit. And if you're somewhere along the way, just smile and breathe through it, and we'll be here for 3 breaths. Last inhale. And exhale, rebend the right leg. And release, shoot the shoulders out. All right, let's switch. Okay, left leg into the chest. Just some nice, big, easy rocks. Creating more space. And then right hand's gonna come on top of the left foot. The left arm's gonna weave underneath you. If you wanna hang out here and just work on this piece where we bring the knee on top of the shoulder, great place to find some more mobility and flexibility, right? Otherwise, kick your foot into your hand, and we're gonna try to peel the chest open. So we're kind of creating the space to bring the chest like underneath your armpit, and look around. 3 breaths wherever you are, just stay in it. Last inhale, and release. Whew. Give your shoulders one more roll. Applaud yourself for putting in the effort. And then we'll come all the way onto our backs. Okay, knock your knees in towards each other, take your feet nice and wide. Make sure your pelvis is like spread, or your lower back is spread out on the mat. So the pelvis is kind of like sinking inward. The base of the pelvic bowl can be really wide. And then we're gonna let the knees just kind of tick-tock side to side, releasing the lower back, until eventually the knees fall over to the left. If you don't feel that much of a stretch here with the knees out to the left, I want you to pick up your left foot and cross it over your right thigh. Kind of like what we've been doing, but now we're getting the opposite rotation. And then hands can do whatever you'd like. Goalpost them, bring them down by your side. Let the back of the head and the shoulders rest heavy. And just let gravity and the weight of your left leg do the work here. About 3 more breaths. Let the left foot release from the right. You'll slowly pick the knees back up. And maybe windshield wiper them again. And then we'll let both knees fall to the right. And then right foot will cross over the left thigh if you liked that. Just let the legs feel really heavy here. And 3 more full breaths. Slide the right foot off the left leg. Bring the knees back up to center. And take a moment to check in with yourself. Any last movements that are calling to you here?
happy baby, plow pose, or another bridge pose, anything you need to do to make your practice feel complete, feel free to go for it. And when you feel ready, start to ease yourself into Shavasana for our final resting posture. Legs extended out nice and long, hands by the sides, shoulder blades underneath you. If it feels comfortable for you, allow your eyes to close. And letting the entire weight of your body, every muscle, every bone, just sink into the support of the earth. Absolutely no effort left to do here. Spending these last few minutes to connect to you and your breath. Everything at ease. Gently begin to move fingers and toes. Rotate out wrists and ankles. And if it sounds good to you, take your arms overhead. Take a big full body stretch. Big inhale. Point your toes. Flex your toes. And exhale, release. Draw your knees back into your chest. Ease yourself over to one side. And then all the way up to a seat. Taking a moment once you've found is your seat. Sit up nice and tall, soften the shoulders. Take your hands together in front of your heart. Offering up some gratitude to yourself for coming here tonight, the effort you put into your practice on the mat, and now off your mat as well. Bring our thumbs to the center of our foreheads. We lift our hearts and bow to ourselves and each other. Namaste.